Happy Monday. I hope you had a great day, and if you traded today, you were very successful. As always, I'm going to try to briefly go over the S&P 500 E-mini futures for today, Tuesday, May 27th. It was an interesting day today, a lot of really good price action. Before I get going, as always, shout out to Al Brooks. His trading course will be down below if you guys want to learn about the best price action strategy there is. And a huge shout out to my teacher, Troy H. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be trading. As always, purple lines is the low and the high of last Friday. This green line is a line of support from the aftermarket chart, and this first red line is a line of support from the aftermarket chart as well, or a line of resistance from the aftermarket high, the aftermarket lows to the green. And then over here, I just put some once it pushed through the aftermarket high. I was trying to think about what would be the next move that I would mark out. So I marked out some of these large micro gaps that I thought the market might try to fill from last Wednesday. So those are the other two lines, but I'll get more into those once we get there. As always, I'm going to try to make this very, very fast, and I will be posting this whole entire week. I apologize for not posting on Thursday and Friday. As you guys know, I was traveling. I didn't even get to trade those days. So I am now back home and I will be posting every day again. But to go ahead and get into it, um, starts off with a big bear breakout down, but this is very large rip up from where we closed on Friday. Um, a lot of pre-market or a lot of aftermarket movement, definitely with the market being closed for Memorial Day as well. And as guys can see, we get a great 7 bar micro channel that's over 20 points from here to here. Yep, a little over 20 points, about 21. So at first I wasn't super excited about the large wick going down on 2, the kind of doji bar on 4, the doji bar with the large wick on 5, 6 not closing near its high. But the distance factor was a very large thing, and it had because of 9, I thought that was a huge indicator mover that changed the bar count from 5, kind of doji, not the most successful bars up besides this huge micro gap on 3, but it changed it from a 5 bar micro channel to a 6 bar micro channel, and then got another good follow through, making it a 7 bar micro channel. So this covered distance, this covered time. Um, this went up in an upward trend for very much the first 30 minutes of the day. So distance factor, time factor, it had 2 micro gaps, 3 tick gaps, and through my probability calculations, I thought that this had a 90% of a second symmetrical leg and a 100% chance of a second non-symmetrical leg. As you guys can see on 8, I was just a little eager because I really liked the 7 micro gap. So I got in on 8. I didn't like my entry point, so I just got out break even on 8 as well. I thought there would be more of a pullback that I could get in on. And then I sat through 9, and once I saw this pullback failure on 9, I entered the close, so right at the beginning of 10, as you can see right there. And then I got to practice something that I've talked about a little bit earlier in this channel about how um, a lot of losing traders usually add to their positions or scale in when they're down. And the difference to those 5% that are actually profitable is instead of adding to their losing positions, they add to their winning positions. So that's exactly what I was able to implement today. So I bought in at 10. I thought I got a good rip up, but compared to um, this first leg, I thought it was going to need to go a whole lot higher. I definitely had the hypothesis in mind that I was going to try to test the pre-market high that I had marked out above. So after I saw 10, I just kind of had like just the thought process that any slight pullback, I was going to buy and scale in again because I really thought I was going to try to test this high. So as you can see on 11, it pulls back. I perfectly get back on or get in on the top of the pullback. It goes up more. And I think this was a little much. I'm trying to practice only scaling in once with the size of my account. But I did scale in for a second time, so ending up being 3 contracts in on this one position, adding to a successful position up. So I saw a 12 kind of close doji a little bit down, and I thought this was just quite a little bit of a pause in momentum before it would get up to the Globex high. So I bought in on 12 as well. I didn't love 14 right after 12 was happening. I was thinking maybe it was getting some resistance from the bears. Maybe, 13 or even 12 was kind of an exhaustion push up. It's now kind of respecting this line of resistance here. So I was looking just to get a nice exit, and I ended up exiting on 15 for a 20-point gain, which I was happy with. I could have been a little bit more patient. Like I said, I had a good hypothesis that I was probably going to try to test this high, which it eventually did. But I was trying not to be greedy, took the points that I got, and got out on 15. After that, you get 1, 2 pushes up, but going to the 15-minute chart, you can see that this was all kind of just one push up, and it still needed a second leg. At this point, I really wasn't trying to be greedy. I just made twice my daily goal. So I really wasn't looking to hop back into anything very quickly, but I did notice on the 15-minute chart it has one leg up. 15-minute usually moves in twos. It has this pullback, and it probably needed a second leg at some point, testing the Globex high, which is exactly what it did. It has 1, 2 on the 5-minute chart, kind of a complicated pullback a little bit, going sideways 18 through 20, and it got its third leg that broke through the Globex high, which I maybe should have entered in on the pullback of 18 or 20, knowing that it was needed to go higher on the 15-minute. Like I said, I had already made a killing, and I wasn't trying to be greedy. Then 25 through 20, or through even 25 through about 30, 29, really test this line of resistance. Having a hard time pushing through it, trying to fight through it, but it finally gets a give up bar on 31, pushes up higher. I then marked out this channel, and had a very nice upward channel that it was creating. So I marked out this channel, and as you can see, it really respected it. A lot of the times that it broke out of the channel, it would try to get back. So yeah, it kind of just is channeling up. There's definitely some legs you can see through here. You could say, even this reset it, the push up. That was 1, and then I got 2, kind of complicated, and then 3 here, kind of complicated. You could even say that 37.38 is a first leg up after it got reset here, after a good 2 pushes, kind of complicated. And this needed a second push, but like I said, I wasn't trying to hop in anything too complicated. Something that I just saw that I marked out before starting this video is that even though this is in a upwards channel, the first thing that I'll say real quick is that on 48, breaks out of the channel, and 75% of channel breaks return to the channel trend projection in 75% of the time. So I just always look at that. I think it's interesting. So within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, it returns to this uptrend channel. But I noticed kind of this triangle bull flag right here kind of ends up getting big, tries to push out of this channel up, it rejects it. So you're gonna have a long wick here, tries to push down, rejects it, and it kind of slowly gets smaller and smaller until 50 gets really dodgy, 49, 50 gets really dodgy, and then it breaks out of this, clearly breaks out of the channel. So you probably know that there's a 75% probability, probably even more with the overall what the market was doing today, that it was going to push back up. So you could have probably bought the close of 50 or even the close of 51, and doing that, you would have been able to make, about 10 points. Going further, like I said, I kind of finished trading. The market's still open right now, but it kind of got to the last 30 minutes of the day. I'm trying to get to the gym, so I figured I would start the video now. But I marked out this line of resistance, like I said from earlier, trying to fill these micro gaps. So it definitely pushed up to there, and then I marked out this one, which was the top of this trend down with a major micro gap. So I thought maybe he was going to try to keep on going in the upward position. But then we ended up kind of getting a climactic bar on 54, trying to push back to this channel after breaking out, and then it kind of goes sideways and starts going down. Um, the next trade that I made, which I didn't think was the best, was that 51 through 54 was a good 4 leg break. Anyway, as I know, it was trying to break back to this channel, but I thought it had a lot of good momentum. It has 2 micro gaps. It's a pretty good rip up. I think it's about 9 or 10 points. And I had the hypothesis that I could probably scale in and make 5 points with it going higher. I didn't get the best entry on 55, as you can see, and it did get a short second leg up, 1, 2, kind of non-symmetrical, and I ended up taking a small loss on 59. It just didn't do what I hypothesized. I tried to get out as quickly as possible. And then kind of a lapse in judgment on this trade here. I shouldn't have taken it. I think I was just trying to make back the 5 points that I missed, which you can sometimes get in trouble with. And it just breaks through the EMA pretty strong. And then this pullback can't pull back past the EMA. So I thought maybe this would try to get a little second push down. I could make my 5 points back that I lost earlier. And I ended up losing another 5 points on 68, clearly pushes back through the EMA. So not the best trade there. Both of those were just unnecessary. Even though I was just trying to do quick scalps, it's just unnecessary when I'm already up as much as I was for the day. And then it kind of just goes in this downward momentum sideways. And as you can see now, it's towards the end of the day. The last couple bars are coming, and it's trying to break up again past the EMA. But that's my hypothesis for the day. Quick look at the 15-minute chart. From the beginning, you get your 2 pushes up, 1, 2, even get a third, pull back on 12, another push up, and even you could say a fifth. Bang, pulls up from 13 to 19, and then you kind of get some rejection and goes into a trading range sideways. But thank you guys for watching. Tried to make it quick. As always, Al Brooks' trading course will be down below. Shout out to Troy H, and thank you guys for watching.